gentlemen, without any further ado, how we welcome to the stage, seven-figure earner, master servant, Mr. Tim Herr!
I'm jacked. I'm fired up today because this training, it's an important topic. The reason why I say that is because it's an absolute fact. The training today that you're going to get is the topic that if you can really capture it, if you can get this training piece, this skill set, to really adopt it as a philosophy that you use and you build your business by, you'll create a massive amount of income in this business. So real quickly for you guys, what I want to just briefly do is share with you a little bit about when I first got in, the things that were going through my mind, and the reason being is because it's gonna go right into this topic here. But like I shared with you a little bit earlier, is when I got involved in this industry was February 15th of 1996. And when I first got started in this industry, I was really scared, I was really nervous, I was doubtful, but at the same time I was hopeful because see, I needed a change financially. I needed to have something that was gonna work for me. So when I got in, I realized quickly that I had to learn how to do this. That's the key, is understanding the fact that guess what, it's a process. See, anything that you're gonna do in life, and many of you know this, the key to becoming successful at anything is it's a process. You're not gonna become good at anything overnight, okay? Everything's gonna take time. Now, obviously, some people have natural inclinations where they're good at things basically by birth, but everything, they're gonna still need to work at that to shape that. I mean, I can take the message of sports and connect it really well. You see a person like Shaquille O'Neal. I don't know how big that guy was, but he was big. Do you guys see that? Like a 7-footer. So it's kind of obvious to say, okay, this guy's 7 feet tall. We got to get a basketball in this guy's hands. Do you guys see that? Right? I mean, right? We got to get a basketball on this guy. I mean, some things are obvious, right? I mean, it's like, that's a no-brainer. But guess what? You still got to work at it. And imagine how effective he would have been if he would have worked on his foul shots, right? So you can always get better, right? There's always room for improvement. But guess what? The key is understanding the fact that some people are kind of born with those inclinations. Some people have to work hard at it. But the reality is that you can always learn it. Some people are musically inclined, right? They're just musically gifted. But if you still work at it, you can acquire it. So any skill set you can acquire, okay? Everybody can acquire a skill set. And the skill set today that I'm going to share with you is a skill set that can help you really explode massive momentum for you in your life. I can promise you that. And if you get one thing in this business to get good at, if you want to make a fortune, this is the skill set to get good at, okay? I've seen people just master this single skill set and become successful because of it, okay? And the reason why is because growth is a process, okay? Growth is a process, and it's a daily process, okay? And if you're not getting better, naturally you're getting worse. Do you guys see that? I mean, my mentor told me, he says, Tim, there's only one way to drift. You can't drift up, you can only drift down. So you're going to be drifting in life if you're not pushing yourself to get better. So recognize the fact that it's a process. I can prime example, my daughter's here today, and she could tell you, right, every day, her little brother who plays basketball is shooting 100 shots every single day. And it's not because, he's trying to become, the greatest basketball player, because if he wants to get good at something, you've got to be willing to, guess what? You got to practice, And that's how it works with anything. If you want to get good at anything, you've got to, guess what? Practice at it, okay? And you got to also, guess what? Understand that it's a process. So what I did when I got involved in this industry was my mentor told me, he says, Tim, Tim, turn your car into a mobile classroom. And what I did was I did something called the University on Wheels, and I would listen to audio programs, and what I would do is I would learn that information, okay? And I would capture it, and I would go out there and share that information with other people, and guess what would happen? I would get massive results because of it. So I can share with you this is if you're going to memorize something, right? Anyways, if like when I got involved in the industry, prior to getting started, I used to listen to Tupac, right? Now, what I can tell you guys is that if you, guess what, learn all the lyrics to the All Eyes on Me soundtrack, you're not going to become more successful as a result of that unless you're involved in that industry. Do you guys see that? Right? So I'm sitting there doing things and memorizing things that are going to have no impact on my success. So what I decided to do instead was, guess what, turn my car into a mobile classroom and take it seriously. Okay, now realizing what if it takes you 3 years? What if it takes you 5 years? What if it takes you 10 years to master the skill set in this business? Would it be worth it? Right? I mean, if it took you 10 years to master the skills and you became wealthy as a result of that, Some are like, hey, I want to do it faster. Well, guess what? We can show you how to do that. Why? Because you're in control of how fast you learn. You're in control of how fast you, guess what? Get better in this business. Meaning what? Meaning that, whether you do like my mentor told me, he said 30 minutes of personal growth and development every day, no matter what. 30 minutes of personal growth and development every day, no matter what. And what happens is some people, they'll learn, and then once they start making some serious money, right, they stop learning. I don't do personal growth and development. I don't listen to audio programs. I don't do personal growth and development because I'm weak. I do it because I want to remain strong. And that's the thing I can tell you, is a lot of times, and I had an opportunity to sit down with one of my heroes in personal growth and development, a guy by the name of Les Brown, and we went to dinner at Orange Hill Restaurant in Orange, and I'm taking him to dinner, and I'm sitting there talking to him. And that was the thing that he said to me that had the biggest impact. He goes, most people do personal growth and development because they think that they're missing something. He goes, that's the biggest misconception about personal growth and development. He goes, you don't do personal growth and development because you're weak. You do it because you want to remain strong. And I thought that was powerful. So what I can encourage you to do is understand that it's a process. You're not going to become good at this business overnight, okay? But guess what? You can get good at this business. And the key is to understand that, hey, what? It's valuable to get good at this business. Why? Because being wealthy is a smart move, okay? And how do you become wealthy? Is learning the skills that it takes to become successful. Now, there's a lot of, there's different skills that you can learn in this business. But the one I'm about to share with you right now today is a skill set that if you adopt and you really learn it and you get good at it, you can really create massive wealth as a result of it. It's the single greatest skill set to learn. I can promise you that. And some of you that are brand new, you're thinking, hey, look, you know what? I don't really need to get good at this. Well, you do no matter what. Everybody needs to get good at this skill set. So I'm going to dive into it. But the skill set today that we're going to talk about and share with you is a skill set that's called promoting events. And the reason why promoting events is so critical is because events are where the decisions are made that motivate the process. Meaning what? The success is found in, guess what? The process. That's where the success comes from. The process of developing the skill set. But the decisions to engage in the process are, guess what? They happen at events. So if you can just get good at getting people to events, the events are going to make the people make the decision to, guess what? Get involved and get committed to the process. So the key is understanding, guess what? Everything revolves around one major thing, and that's learning how to get people to events. That's where success comes from. Why? Because at events, what happens is, guess what? People make commitments. People make decisions where they're like, look, I'm going to get serious about this business. So if you can master the skill set of moving people to events, what happens is you're going to win big. Now, why events? Because what happens is if you have a dream and say this is the size of your dream, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about this in a little bit. If this is the size of your dream, and when you go to an international convention, you're going to see the vision that Isaac Benjamin has. And you're going to see his vision. And you're going to say, okay, great, there's room for my vision to fit inside that vision. So you have to realize that vision people are going to capture at events. So we've got to understand that we've got to get good at, guess what? Getting people to events. Why? Because it's going to, number one, it's going to lock people in. And we're going to talk about some of the reasons why you want to get good at it. But let's talk a little bit about how this works and how you create massive success in this industry. And the first thing is understanding this, okay? Is I like this guy right here. Best example of this would be what, right? P.T. Barnum, okay? He was like the Don King of the old days. Do you guys get that? This guy was a promoter, okay? And P.T. Barnum said this. He says, without promotion, something terrible happens. He says, without promotion, something terrible happens. Nothing. So you got to get good at, guess what? Promotion. Okay? If you learn how to get people and move people to events, you're going to get good at making a fortune in this business. So you got to recognize that, guess what? We've got to get people, we've got to learn how to promote so we can make sure that we move people in the right direction, okay? So here's the next thing is this. This right here is our business. Make no mistake about it. People look at that and they go, Tim, I know what that is, right? That's a thermostat, that's a thermometer. Actually, this is, guess what? This is our business. Meaning what? Meaning that right here, what is this? This is the thermostat. What does the thermostat do? Right, it changes the temperature. Would you guys agree with that? Right, isn't it true? The thermostat changes the temperature in a room. So if you want it to be hotter, you want it to be colder, you have control over that if you push those buttons. Would you agree? Yes. In our business, the thermostat that controls the temperature is the amount of new superstars that your organization is, guess what? Promoting. So if you want to change the temperature, you do it one superstar at a time. One superstar at a time. You get somebody started and you help them become a what? Superstar. That's it. That's how you can change the temperature. Now, here's how you record the temperature. The thermometer, guess what? Records the temperature. So if you want to know the temperature of your organization, you have to look at the thermometer. And the thermometer is the amount of people that you get to guess what? International events. So if you master getting people to guess what? International events, guess what happens? You create massive success. Do you guys see that? So you got to realize that, guess what? That's what's going to lock people in. That's going to be the glue that's going to lock people into this business, because they're going to see the big picture. They're going to get fired up and inspired. So if you build your business, okay, around national events, you're going to make a fortune. Here's what you have to know about international events is this. Is if someone gets started in Secret and they haven't been to a national event, they haven't gotten started yet. Do you guys see that? Somebody gets started, again, ID number. If they haven't been to a national event, they're not in the business yet. You're not in the business until, guess what? You've been to a national event. So you've got to move people to, guess what? National events. That's the magic. That's the magic in this business. And he or she that can master this is going to make an absolute fortune. Okay? And this is the skill set that I learned at the beginning. Why? Because I knew that, guess what? I wasn't good at motivating people. I wasn't good at inspiring people. I wasn't good at getting people fired up out of their mind. Okay? I wasn't good at that. So I just brought people to international events, and guess what happened? That result happened. So you're leveraging. You understand that? You're leveraging, guess what? And a system. So if you leverage a system, guess what happens? You create massive success. See, the prime example of this would be what? You know, I think it was Aristotle who said, if you give me, a lever big enough, right? He goes, I can move the world. You've got to understand that if you want to move people, how do you do that? You've got to leverage, guess what? The events. If you leverage the events, guess what happens? You create massive success. So how do you do it? We're going to talk about that right now. So obviously, we understand that by now. You can see clearly. Now, here's how you build a local event system, okay? Is number one, is you create momentum. Okay? You create momentum. People ask me, they say, Tim, how do you create momentum? The first stage of momentum. Momentum is broken into 4 stages. I'm going to talk about it right now. But the first stage is creating momentum. Okay? Creating momentum is probably the easiest thing in the world to do. It's probably the easiest thing in the world to do. Why? Because all it is massive exposures. Do you see that? All you do is, guess what? You start duplicating wow parties. You start duplicating exposures. So today I'm going to talk about this after this training. I'm going to share with you how to duplicate exposures after we get done with promoting events. But this is how you become successful. People ask me, they said, the other day, I was doing an event like this in San Diego, and they asked me, they said, Tim, what's the difference between a sit down and a wow party? I said, basically it's the same thing, it's just a different name. You know what I mean? You call it tomato, I call it tomato. It doesn't make a difference. If I'm talking to one person or I'm talking to 10 people, guess what I'm doing? All I'm doing exposing. You guys get it? All I'm doing is, guess what? Sharing the story. Do you guys get that? I'd say the same thing, right? That's just all I do is tell the what? Story. You guys get it? That's all I do. So it doesn't make a difference whether it's in a huge environment or a small environment or a one-on-one environment. The same thing happens. The story gets told. So you're going to come up with your own story on Secret, and we're going to talk about that after this training. So obviously duplicate wow parties, okay? Copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. Whether it be exposures, sit-downs, whatever, it doesn't make a difference. If it's in the living room or at a Starbucks, it doesn't make a difference where it is. We have to, guess what? Yeah, we have to duplicate it. We have to share people the story. So guess what? How many wow parties do you have going on in your organization? How many sit-downs? How many exposures a day, guess what, do you have going on in your organization? That's the question you have to ask. And if you can count them, guess what? You haven't created momentum yet. You know, I like what, I think it was J.D. Rockefeller who says, if you can count your money, you don't have enough of it. Do you see that? Yeah, and it's the same thing, right? You want to have so much going on that you don't know, it's just happening. So how do you do that? You Superman it at the beginning, right? And you ask yourself, what's the most amount of wow parties that I can do? What's the most amount of exposures I can do in a 24-hour time frame? Because see, how most people operate is what? Ready, aim, 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 aim. You get what I mean? That's what they're doing, right? Like they're like, the key is not to be a sniper. I know we have somebody here from the military. The key is guess what? Right? You don't want to be a sniper in this business. Do you guys get that? You want to have a couple of those, you want to be like Rambo with a couple of those, situations. You follow? Right? And you're out there, boom, boom. You know what I mean? And how do you do that? Fire, ready, aim. Are you guys with me on that? Fire, ready, aim. So you just got to, guess what? Do it. Now, here's what I'll tell you about creating exposure. I'm going to talk about this for a second, is this. When you work with me individually, You got 4 weeks. 4 weeks to learn how to, guess what? Do a wild party. And I'm going to tell you right now that this is how you need to be able to be as a leader. Because nothing is more motivating to somebody than saying, hey, guess what? You can do it. You guys with me on that? Nothing motivates somebody more than saying, hey, I believe in you. That's the best motivation that you can give somebody. People ask me, they say, how do you motivate people? Here's how you motivate people. By believing in them. Do you guys get that? So I'm telling you, it doesn't make it, because I know anybody can, guess what? Do a sit down. Anybody can do an exposure. Anybody. Who can do it? Anybody. It doesn't matter, like, no, like, so I'm not ready for it. What? 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 Did you eat a bottle of coward pills? You know what I mean? Right? Or you OD'd on coward pills, right? You got to step up. You got to do it. So when I get somebody involved in the business, you can ask anybody that I work with, first week, guess what I'm doing? 100%. I'm picking them up every day. We're going out there and we're smashing it, right? 100% you watch. You put me in front of somebody, if they've got a pulse, and they can fog a mirror, right? I'm going to get them in the business, right? I'm going to grab a sword, I'm going to grab a ship and say, hey, you just get behind me, all right? And then week number 2, guess what? I'm going to do 80%, you're going to do 20%. Now I'm going to get you involved. Week number 3, guess what? You're doing, guess what? Now you're doing 80%, I'm doing 20%. Week 4, guess what? Now you're doing 100% and I'm watching. You're not going to have me ever do a wild party after 4 weeks. You're not, I'll go to it. I'll sit there and clap for you and say you're great, but I'm not doing it. Why? Because all I'm doing is, guess what? Making you believe that you can't do it. See, most people, instead of empowering people, they depower them. If you want to become wealthy in this business, you got to learn how to develop leaders. How do you develop leaders? You got to be willing to, guess what? Tell them, I believe in you. You can do it. That's the deal. You can do it. So you got to realize, if you've been in the business for 4 weeks and you're not doing, guess what? Your own exposures, you need to slap yourself, look in the mirror and say, hey, step up. Right? It's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm telling you, prime example, you know, when we work with people, that's just how we do it. And some people are like, well, I want you to come do my wild parties. It's like, look, I don't mind changing your diapers, you know what I'm saying? When you're a baby. But I'm not changing some 30-year-old person's diapers, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta guess what? Step up. Are you guys with me on that? You gotta step up, and the key is you've got to believe that you can do it. Because you can never teach something that you don't do yourself. I can't get you to duplicate something that you're not willing to do. I can't have you go out there and teach other people how to tie their shoes if you don't know how to tie your shoes first. So here, your success is going to come from, guess what? The amount of exposures you have and the amount of presenters you have. You don't have to become some magic, great, all-star presenter. You just got to have massive, here's what I'll tell you right now, this is powerful. You're not going to become wealthy doing wild parties. Tell you right now, you're not going to become wealthy doing wild parties. You're not going to become wealthy, guess what? Getting preferred customers, and you're not going to become wealthy enrolling agents. You're going to become wealthy by having that going on throughout your organization. You understand? If I can sit down with someone and get them in the business, I'm never going to become wealthy doing that. Never. You can never make 7 figures in this business by doing wild parties. You can never make 7 figures doing one-on-ones. The only way you can make 7 figures is by duplicating it. McDonald's didn't sell, guess what? Like 10 billion burgers. You know what I'm saying? Because Ray Ray didn't have any vision. The McDonald's brothers, Dick and Maurice, the guys who started that, they didn't have any vision. They're like, let's do it ourselves. If you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. That's a poor man speaking. No one rich will ever tell you that. You'll never hear someone rich telling you, oh, if you want it done right, you got to do it yourself. If someone tells you that, I can guess their bank account by $500. Because you don't get wealthy doing that. You become wealthy by, guess what? Multiplying efforts. And the only way you can get multiplication happening is by stepping up and saying, hey, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to get the job done. So if somebody's been in for 4 weeks, I'll go to your one-on-one. I'll go to your sit-down, but I'm not doing it. I'll sit there and watch you do it, tell you you're a champion. Why? Because I'm not trying to do one-on-ones. I'm not trying to do wild parties. I'm trying to, guess what? Create wealth for you. How am I going to create wealth for you? Not by, not pass you the ball. Do you guys get that? You know what I'm saying? If I sit down with you and say, hey, Travis, let's go work out. You know what I'm saying? If I go, hey, let's go work out. And I'm telling you, hey, look, let's go to the gym. And we sit down in the gym, and guess what's going on? I'm not letting you work out. I'm just saying, hey, you're weak, dude. Just watch how I operate. You guys get that? You know what I'm saying? Are you ever going to become buff by watching me work out? No, the only way you're going to get buff is by, guess what? Working out. So how are you going to do that? You got to, guess what? Duplicate that. Are you guys with me on this? So you got to, guess what? Duplicate. Are you guys seeing how this works? How do you duplicate? You first got to, guess what? Step up and start doing it. So you're never going to have other people, you can't duplicate something that you don't do first. So just hurry up and start doing your wow party so you can, guess what? Start duplicating it. Are you guys see how smart that is? So here's number 2. How do you develop, and number 2 is sustain the momentum. First thing is create the momentum. Second thing is what? Sustain it. Okay, how do we sustain it? We promote superstars, bronze, and royal agents. So now guess how you sustain momentum is by now, guess what? Rank advancing people. People have got to rank up. Okay? Now what happens is once you create that culture where everybody's, guess what? Ranking out, guess what happens? Everything good happens. So we've got to make sure that we sustain the momentum by rank advancing our agents. Okay? Number 3 for your notes, how you develop a system, is you, guess what? Advance momentum. How do you advance momentum? You build an event. You want to build this event in the area to over 100 people every single month. Do you guys see that? Once you build it to 100 people plus every single month, you guys see that? A regional event, then guess what you do? Then you multiply your momentum and then you institute a university. But you don't have the university until, guess what? You get your event to over 100 people every what? Month. So guess what we have to do? First thing we've got to do is, guess what? Create momentum. How do we create momentum? Massive exposures. Do you guys get that? And then once we get massive exposures, then what do? We get people ranking up. And then once we have people ranking up, guess what we do? We build this event to over 100 people. And then once we build this event to over 100 people, then guess what we do? We institute the university. It's very basic. It's not even really, it's a really systematic. It's kind of like science. Do you guys get that? You know, every time that you have 2 hydrogen molecules together with an oxygen molecule, guess what happens? You got water every time. Do you guys get that? You guys see how smart that is? No matter where you are, it's all the same. You guys with me? So you have to understand that this formula that I'm sharing with you, this recipe is a recipe for massive success, okay? So obviously by now you can see that. Now here it is. How do we multiply momentum? We talked about that in the university. So here's the deal. By now you can see clearly, right? You can see clearly the fact that, guess what? Right? We've got to create massive momentum. Now, the biggest thing that we've got to recognize is the fact that we've got to understand that, guess what? We've got to make sure that no matter what do? We get people to the national events. Why? Because that's where the decisions are made. That's where people make that decision to, guess what? Become successful. That's where people make the decision to engage in the process. So guess what we have to do? We got to get good at, guess what? Making sure that we have you guys ever seen these things? You guys got these little bumps back here? You guys have those? You guys got those too, right? You guys know what that is? Yeah, that's your backbone. Do you guys get that? And you want to have a backbone. All right? And the key is not telling people what they need to hear. You got to tell people, not telling people what they want to hear. You got to tell them what they need to hear. You got to let them know that this is the deal. Okay? This is the deal. What you've got to get good at doing is, guess what? Right? Telling people, hey, look, you know what? You got to make sure that you get your people whenever they get enrolled. Set people up from the beginning. I'm not going to tell you, I'm going to tell you right whenever you get started, hey, look, you're going to build a massive organization. You're going to be a leader. People are going to be looking up to you. So do you want people doing what you do and you doing the wrong behavior? Or do you want to be a leader that's doing the right thing and having people follow your lead? Which one do you want to do? You follow? If I'm doing the wrong thing and I'm duplicating that, is that good or bad? It's bad, right? If I do the right thing and I duplicate, is that good or bad? It's good. So which one do you want to do? Do you want to do the right activity and have people duplicate that, or do you want to do the wrong thing and have people duplicate that? They're going to duplicate what you do no matter what. So you got to set the tone right from the beginning. So I tell people, look, if you're not, and I'll tell them, right, well, I get the application filled out, I'll put my hand on the application, say, look, I don't even want you on my team if you're not going to commit to going to the national events. Because I'm not trying to, you understand? The reason why is what? I'm not trying to enroll somebody. I'm not trying to sell a damn hamburger. The difference between me and you is maybe, guess what? Maybe you're trying to sell hamburgers. You need to get over here and help and be on my side and help me open up McDonald's. What's the difference? Leadership. This isn't, people ask me all the time, say, is it a sprint or a marathon? It's neither. This is not a sprint. This is not a marathon. It's a relay race. And the success is found in the exchange zone. The success in our business is found in the exchange zone. The ability to pass the baton off to someone else. How do you win a relay race? Not how fast you are. It's your ability do well in the exchange zone. You could take the Bahamas, right? They got the fastest people on the planet on the Bahama track team, right? Those guys are fast. And guess what? If they don't know how to pass the baton off, they ain't going to win no races. Doesn't make a difference how fast you are. If you don't know how to pass the baton off, you can't win a relay race. So your success now in the exchange zone, you've got to, guess what? Pass on. You got to duplicate. And how do you do that? You get people to the national events. You got to get them to the national events. So you have to have the big picture. It's not about, guess what, selling hamburgers. It's not about, signing somebody up. Oh, I got an agent. Congratulations. No one's going to build a statue of you. Calm down. But guess what? You got to get some leaders. Let me ask you a question. Would you rather have 1,000 agents or 1,000 customers? I'll take 1,000 customers over 1,000 agents. People might think I'm crazy. I would rather have 1,000 customers instead of 1,000 agents every day. But if you ask me whether I have 1,000 leaders or 1,000 customers, I think 1,000 leaders every day of the week. Do you guys get it? So how do you get the leaders? You start with end in mind. When I enroll an agent, I'm not looking at them as, guess what? An agent. I'm looking at them as a self-sufficient leader. And then guess what? I'm going to get you there. I'm going to get you there. That's the fun. That's the magic of this business. Is getting people to see themselves different than how they see themselves now. And how do you get people to see themselves different than they are? You've got to see it for them before they can see it for themselves. That's a job as a leader. So how does that happen? You got to get them to the national events. You got to get them to the big events. So let's talk about it, okay? Today, right now, is good for you because I'm going to actually share with you the 10 non-negotiable reasons why we want to be saying right now, okay? I'm committing 100% today to being at the next national event, okay? Here's number one, out of our list of 10, is this. Lead by example, okay? Keep in mind that, guess what? Your team will do what you do, not what you what? Say. Okay, I'll prove it to you guys. I need everybody's participation on this because I know that we've got some people in the room that are cool. Okay? I need the cool people to even participate, all right? Even the cool people, I need you on this one. But everybody, you got your thumb here and your pointer finger. Is it called a pointer or index? Is that an index? I don't know. Whatever, this index one, right? The first one right next to your thumb. Connect them here like this, everybody, even the cool people. All right, put this out here like this. Now bring this down right here and follow me. Look, put this right here on your cheek right here, everybody. Your cheek's over here, you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. So yeah, it is on my cheek, dog. Oh, yeah, you got me. All I'm saying is people will do what they see, not what, you understand? They're going to do what you do, not what you say. You guys see it? The best is when I get people 3 or 4 times with that one. People are like, you got me 3 in a row. What the heck? So you got to lead by example, right? You got to set the tone. Are you guys with me on this? You got to set the tone. You got to set the tone for your organization. How do you set the tone? By making sure that you lead by example and you get no matter what. Now here's the deal. This thing's in Utah. That's not even hard to do. That's not even hard. Look, here's my mind. The reason why I love being in Hawaii is number one, because it's beautiful. But number two, the reason why I love being in Hawaii, because you track it. I know that a lot of people's ancestries, we don't have like probably a lot of people that are like, when they date it back, we're talking, King Kamehameha, you know what I'm saying, family tree. But here's the deal. Look at the original Hawaiians that came here. Like, just think about those guys. That was a mission. You know what I mean? Like that's a mission. That's like hard to do. Think about that. How come it were those guys? You know what I mean? They're just, let's go for it. Where are we going? We're going to go somewhere really good. Like, what? Let's go. Like, dude, like what? Are you serious? Yeah. Because there's no other water for like, what, 2,000 miles? What? That's ridiculous. And they were in what, like an outrigger? What were they in? They made Christopher Columbus look like a meatball. Because he's got these big ships. They're like, dude, we'll do it in a canoe. You're weak. What? So you see, it's like, look, we're going to do whatever it takes. It's already, the culture's already set up. It's already here. It's already here. The events in Utah, that's nothing. I've been talking to the company, but like, look, let's have the next one on the moon. You know what I mean? What are we waiting for? Let's put on the moon. Why? To separate, to find out who's serious. Because think about it, right? What would we do? What would be your next action steps if the next, guess what? National was on the moon. I'm calling up Russia. You guys know that? Because I'm like, what'd you guys do with all those space shuttles that you guys had, right? I know the Cold War's over. Can we get a couple of those bad boys? I'm calling Richard Branson. I'm doing a presentation. Be like, look, let's get this Virgin Galactic thing kicked off. What are we waiting for? I'm going to find a way, right? I'm going to strap on one of those like deals, and I'm going to try to, shoot up there with a little sky pack, whatever, jetpack. We're doing it. We're going to find a way. Why? Because we got to win. This one's not on the moon. This is in Utah. We have no excuse, right? It's too easy. Next one's going to be on the moon, so you got to be at this one. I'm just kidding. I ain't going to be on the moon. Someone's like, damn, I didn't know it was on the moon. We got to go. How funny would that be? All right, we're going to be passing out registration forms. What's too serious? Fill out your registration form. Bring them up here right now. We're going to the moon. Yes. That's a tough one. Here's the deal. Number 2. This is number 2 on the list of 10. This is the 10 non-negotiable reasons why right now we want to be saying, okay, I'm committing 100% today to be able to be at the next national event. I'm going to be at the next national event. Number 2 is, guess what? National events, they raise your agent's belief system. See, what happens at a national event is it gives your team a new life, okay? It gives them new life. It gives them a time extension. Here's the bottom line. Some of you guys are old school, right? You remember this game. You used to go to the arcade, right? Yeah, they still got that Dave and Buster's. But right, you put your quarters in and you're playing the deal, and if you get the checkpoint, you get a time extension, which means you get to continue to keep playing. But if you miss the checkpoint, then you don't get the what? Time extension. You got to put more quarters in. Do you guys see that? Here, our business, national events are like getting a time extension. It's like getting that checkpoint. You got to make sure that, guess what? You get your people to, guess what? The national event. Why? So you get that checkpoint. They get that time extension. Now we're going to continue to keep working with them. Do you guys get it? So you've got to realize that that's what separates people. People will either find a way or they'll find an excuse. And then it has to do with the bumps in your back. Because people are going to test you. Your agents will test you. They're going to be like some kids. Right? When I was a kid, we had a substitute teacher. What did we do? Find out what we could get away with. We're going to test them a little bit, right? That's the deal. When I coach kids, mainly like little kids that are like 6 and 7 years old, 5 years old, what I know right from the beginning they're going to test me on the day one. So I'm going to say line up. Everybody line up. We're going to be doing our warm-ups. I'm going to whoa. You're not behind the cone. You're not behind the cone. You need to look at your foot, your left foot. Put your left foot front, everybody. This guy's right foot front. Get your left foot front. And I'm going to be real, guess what? Critical on day one. Why? Because now they're going to go, wow, this guy's going to, guess what? Make us do the right thing. But if I'm like, all right, everybody just line up. We're just going to have a free-for-all. Nothing good's going to happen, right? By the time it's going to happen, they're going to have me, right, tied up. I'm going to be chained to a tree, and they're going to be throwing the football around having fun. So we're not doing that. We're going to become better. How are we going to become better? By, guess what? Setting the tone. So your people are the same way. When a brand new agent gets in, they're going to test you to see if you're serious. They're going to tell you, oh, I can't go to the event. And guess what? In the moments of decision, that's when our destiny's shaped, right? So at that moment, you're going to tell them what they want to hear, what they need to hear. That's the deal. If you say, oh, don't even worry about it, well, there's going to be another one. What? I'm telling them, I'm glad that you can't go, because it lets me know never to talk to you again. And some of you are like, what? I'm serious. Why would I want to invest time with something that I know is not going to be a winner? Think about it. I'm not into horse racing. I don't know anything about horse racing. I don't know a damn thing about horses. I'm from Indiana, though, and here's what I do know. The Kentucky Derby, right, has never been won by a dead horse. You guys get that? So if the horse is dead, you got to learn how to get off it. I see too many people stop on a dead horse. It's like, dude, if the horse is dead, get off it. And I tell somebody that, man, I'm not going to, guess what? I'm not going to ride a dead horse. We're not going to win with that. I go, so if you don't want to be a dead horse, stop acting like you want to get to the national. I'm just saying. You want me to tell the truth, right? I'll tell the truth. Because that's all I know how to do. So this is number 3 out of the 10 non-negotiable reasons why right now we want to be saying, hey, look, you know what? I'm committing 100% today to be able to be at the next national. Number 3 out of that list of 10 is this. National events strengthen the relationships. It's key. When you commit and get your team committed, it shows that you care about their success. Think about it. Does it show that you care about their success when you're like, look, you got to go to the national event? Or if you're just like, hey, look, you know what? It doesn't matter whether you go or not. I'm going to become successful with or without you. What? You got to care, man. No one can be left behind. You can't let people be left behind. The boat's leaving and you're not on it. I'm not going to let the boat leave the harbor without you on it. Get on the damn boat. Do you guys see that? So guess what you got to do? You have to evaluate, right? You have to evaluate your body to make sure that you still have these bumps back there. Do you guys see that? You got to make sure you have those bumps, and you got to have a backbone and tell people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. Because you can't waste time with the wrong people. You just cannot waste time investing time with people that are not going to be the right people that are going to win. So you guys, you got to do. You've got to find those right people. How do you find those right people? By being the right person. Be the person that you want to attract. Because you're not going to attract what you want. You're going to attract what you are. God, this is good information. So we got to care about people. This is out of the 10 non-negotiable reasons why right now we want to be saying, hey, look, you know what? I'm committing 100% today to be able to be at the next national event. Number 4 on our list of 10 is this: courage and commitments are contagious. Courage and commitments are contagious. Billy Graham said it. I wish I did. But Billy Graham said, courage is contagious. When a brave man takes a stand, the spines of others are often stiffened. See, whenever you've got posture, posture is contagious. Posture is contagious, man. You've got to have posture. Because if you let people walk all over you because you're weak and you're like, oh, but I need them. They're my team and I need them. No, what you need to do is you need to lead them. I'm not here to be liked. You think I want people to like me? I'm not here to be liked. I'm here to lead. Do you understand? Would I rather you like me or would I rather you get rich and love me? Because you'll be like, oh, damn, Tim, oh, yeah, you know? But guess what, Doreen? They call blood, sweat, and tears for a reason. And sometimes people are going to get the tears. Why? Because you're not going to tell them what they want to hear. You're going to tell them what they need to hear. So here it is. We have to have courage. We've got to make a commitment to be at the next national event no matter what. No matter what. Here's what will happen. Every one of you right now in this room will be tested between now and the event. And here's going to be the test. You're going to have a new agent sit down with you and say, okay, they're going to say, Tim, I don't have enough money to buy a plane ticket and a package. So I can either get a package of products or I can get a plane ticket. And right there, your integrity is tested. And we're going to find out whether you care about people or you're just selfish and care about yourself. That's where your true colors show up. That's when we know what your heart looks like. Because in that moment right there, guess what? You're exposed. You're exposed to whether you care about people or you're selfish and care about yourself. Because if I care about myself, do I make money getting people to events? No. Do I make money selling products? Yes. So it's either going to be, I care about me making a little bit of money, or I care about getting wealthy by making you a leader. Which one's it going to be? You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you guys, this is how you build your business. And this is how I became successful in this industry. By getting you, guys, our first national event, I didn't know there was 200 people there. I didn't think there was 200 people there. How do we grow it? By saying the same thing over and over and over to get a lot of people. That's how you grow it. Think about it. Yeah, let's imagine that you have an organization with 35,000 people in it. How are you going to do that? Can you train all those people by yourself? So start with end in mind. If you have an organization of 35,000 people, you got to get them together, right, a couple times a year at a national event. That's what this is. So think not like what you've got, think about where you're going. Do you guys get it? I don't think about when we first got started, I'm like, man, I need to go sign up my first agent, right? So I had to do that. So what did I do? Went downstairs and said, hey, Deej, you get in, bro. So David, bro, you got to get in on this deal, right? This thing's hot. We're going to make a fortune. What is it about? I don't know. All I'm telling you guys is, guess what? You have to start. But you don't start with anything other than end in mind. You've got to have that end in mind. And the end is, guess what? Building a massive organization. And how do you build a massive organization? You start with end in mind. And then in mind is, guess what? Getting everybody in the national event. Because the beginning is just you and like one person or just you and yourself. You're like, all right, let me get my team together. Hey guys, you know what I mean? It's just you and you. All right, I talked to my team and everybody's fired up. You know, it's like you have no team at the beginning. There's nothing more lonely than the number one, right? So, but guess what? You have to set the tone. And if you set the tone from the beginning, people are going to follow and emulate that. So obviously courage is contagious. Number 5 on the list of 10. This is the list of 10, remember, of the non-negotiable reasons why right now we want to be saying, hey, look, you know what? I am committing 100% today to be able to be at the next national event. For your notes, okay? Recognition, okay, you got to recognize the power. Here's the deal. Recognize the power. National events make you and your team, guess what? Unstoppable. Okay? Some of you remember this game, Mario Brothers? Remember this one? What happened when even if Luigi got it, the same thing happened. Doesn't matter. What happens when he got that star? Unstoppable. Remember, like the little gooses with turtle shells? They're coming at you and stuff. And they're like, but guess what? You get the star. Boom! You're running through the gooses with the turtle shells. You guys see that? So how do you be able to run through gooses with turtle shells? Easy. Be at the national event. Hello? You got to guess what? You got to make sure that you get your people to the national event. It makes your people unstoppable. For time being. And I'm going to share with you how to take advantage of the national events. That information is available. So I'm going to share it with you, so get ready for that. So here's the deal. Recognize the power of national events make you and your team unstoppable. Now, this is out of a list of 10 non-negotiable reasons why right now we want to be saying, hey, look, you know what? I'm committing 100% today to be able to be at the next national event. What if, this is the question, but what would happen if we made all the national events mandatory? What if it was mandatory for people? How good would that be? Because that environment can never be replicated or duplicated again. You cannot replicate that environment in somebody's living room. You cannot replicate that environment at a Starbucks coffee shop. You cannot replicate that environment. You cannot replicate that environment right on a conference call or at a training like this. That environment can only be replicated in one place, and that's, guess what? The national event. So you got to be non-negotiable. You got to be non-debatable. Got to get everybody to the national event. Okay. Number 7. This is number 7 out of the list of 10 non-negotiable reasons why right now we want to be saying, hey, look, you know what? I'm committing 100% today to be able to be at the next national event. Number 7 is this. Nationals build vision, right? National events show new agents the bigger picture. Like I shared with you earlier, right? If this is your dream, the size of your dream, you have to make sure that, guess what? The dream of Secret is bigger than your individual dream. And that happens at going to the national event. We'll have people there from all over the world. We'll have people there from Australia, from Canada, from South Korea, from Japan. There'll be people there from everywhere. And guess what? Some of you are going to be overriding and opening up countries too. And guess what? You're not going to be able to get there if you don't, guess what? Start with end in mind. And then in mind is building a massive organization, and the only way that that's possible is by committing to the national events. So it's kind of a no-brainer. Look at this. This is number 8 out of the 10 non-negotiable reasons why right now we want to be saying, hey, look, you know, I'm committing 100% today to be able to be at the next national event. Number 8 is leaders. This is look, I put number 9 there. I put number 9 there, but it's really number 8. Why did I do that? Because I want to let you know that, guess what? Anybody can do it. What's awesome, though, is some of you right now, you're like, man, wonder if he did that on purpose. Yes. That's what's so good, right? Even when I do stupid stuff that doesn't make any sense, people are like, oh, he did that on purpose. No, I'm just stupid. Here it is. Leaders find a way to MIH, right? What's that mean? Make it happen, okay? You got to be a first-minute person, not a last-minute type person. You got to be a first-minute type person, not a last-minute type person. No matter what, make it happen. That's the deal. You ever heard the words try? Try? What? What does that mean? Think about this. If you got any of you guys have a pen, who has a pen in front of them? Do me a favor. Put your pen down on the table for a second. If you already got it out, just keep it there. Now look at your pen. Now try to pick that up. What does that look like? Try to pick your pen up. Now you picked it up. What does try look like? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that even look like? I don't even know what that looks like. Like, I'm going to try to do it. Like, what does that look like? You either do it or you don't do it, and you already made that decision whenever you look at the task. You look at a pen, I can pick a pen up, I can do that, and you do it. No, you didn't try, you did it. But if it was like, hey, you know what, pick up that table, you know what I'm saying, by standing on your head after you've done 1,000 push-ups, right? And you're like, I don't know if I can do that. I'll try, but I don't think I can. You already start off by saying I can either do it or not do it. So you have to believe that you can do it. You got to believe that you can find a way. You got to believe that you can make it happen. I'm just letting you guys know. Guaranteed, okay? Leaders find a way to make it happen. Number 8. The real number 9, because that other number 9 was a perpetrator. This number 9 is the real deal. You guys get that, right? And hey, if I looked as good as this number 9, I was number 8, I want to be number 9 too, because this is a good one right here. This is number 9 out of the 10 non-negotiable reasons why right now we want to be saying, hey, look, you know what? I am committing 100% today to be able to be at the next national event. Do it. Bottom line is do it. What does that mean? Okay? Without exception, guess what? It works. Okay? Without exception, it works. Right? Here's the deal. Every leader builds national event to national event. Let me ask you a question. If you're going, do I want you on the wrong street, the wrong way, or the right way? The right way. How do I get you on the right way? How do I get you on the path for massive success? By making sure you go to the national event. Every leader in the industry, not just the company, but in the industry, promotes national event to national event. You got to guess what? Understand the power of this. As soon as this national event's over, guess all I'm going to be doing? Talking about the next national. Do you guys see how I operate? All I do is build for national events. Why is that? Because guess what? People are going to come back from that national event with brand new agents in. And we're going to be getting brand new agents in. And all those brand new agents are going to be getting started. They have never been to a national event. If we tell them, hey, look, you know what? You got to get ready for the next national event. Let's say it's in 6 months. Say it's in 5 months. Whatever, 4 months. We're going to lock them in for the next 4 months because guess what? They're going to that national event. You understand? It gives me 4 months to work with people to get them results before that event. You guys see what happens? You understand? You got to build for the big picture. Not build week to week or day to day. Build event to event. That's how you become successful, okay? Number 10 out of the 10 non-negotiable reasons why right now we want to be saying, hey, look, you know what? I'm committing right now to be able to be at the next national event. Number 10, which is the most important one, all right, is passion. Guess what? Passion and excitement, okay, is caught, not taught. Passion and excitement, guess what? Is caught, not taught. What does that mean? That means the number one most powerful weapon on earth is the human soul on fire, okay? So you got to be fired up, man. You got to have this excitement about you. Right? And enthusiasm, my mentor told me, says, enthusiasm, Tim, is the way that you hold life's possibilities that shows up in your demeanor. That's what my mentor told me. He said, enthusiasm is the way that you hold life's possibilities that shows up in your demeanor. It shows up in the way that you walk. Guess what? It shows up in the way that you talk. It shows up in your belief system about what's available for you in the future. Got to get fired up, okay? You know, listen to this person's all fired up. They got a little bit too excited. You don't have to get that excited. You guys get that? Someone's like, that dude looked like he went down to Arco, right? Or went down to Chevron and put 91 octane all over himself and let himself on fire. That's a little bit too much, okay? We don't need to go that far, but we do need to understand that we've got to be fired up from the inside, okay? All right, so has everybody got a better picture of that? Yes. Okay, here it is. I'm going to move into this. This right here is my favorite. See, a lot of people, you're going to look at this and guess what some of you are going to say. Oh, I know what that is. And some of you are going to go, oh, Tim, I see where you're coming from. Okay, here it is. Do you guys know what this is? Somebody goes, oh, I can see that's a Hot Wheels racetrack. No, that's a national event. You're not paying attention. That is obviously a national event. Why? Because guess what happens? Same thing. Cars, it comes around here, and then this thing's got like a little motor on it that's got like a spinning little like, and what happens is when the car goes in there, it shoots it out. Shoots it out. Do you see that? So what happens is the car comes out, starts losing momentum, it's kind of slowing down, and all of a sudden, shoots it out. This is it. This is not the Hot Wheels racetrack. This is a national event. When I saw this, I said to myself, hey, look, you know what? Hot Wheels, guess what? Those guys know what they're doing. They're setting people up for success. Sharing with them what a national event looks like. Do you guys see that? That's what a national event looks like right there. That's the prime example, right? You can go to Toys R Us, you buy one of these for $24.99 just so you can get a better understanding, or you can just take my word for it. This is a national event, okay? You understand that, right? So here it is, real quickly. When you're building for your event system, you're going to have, in the scenario when you start having weekly events, you want to build up for a regional. So right now you guys are lucky because you got regionals, and you're going to have numbers in here, all right? And then maybe you're going to have 3 regionals, maybe you have 6 regionals to build in for the national. And if you keep a strict account, guess what happens? Your numbers can grow. So you got to be disciplined. My mentor told me, he says, Tim, you got to be disciplined when the amounts are small. He goes, you want to put boxes, and in those boxes, guess what you want to put? Numbers, not excuses, not stories, numbers. And the number of the people that you have at your regional events. Okay? And then you build that number. You know what I'm saying? Some of you right now, you've got 3 people in the room. Some of you got 5 people in the room. Imagine if you had 10 people in the room. Then you guess what? Then you go to 15, then you go to 20, then you go to 30. That's how you build it. That's how you build a massive event system, okay, as you get disciplined when the amounts are small. And then you get right here on what you see. A little high five action. So here it is, you guys. I'm going to wrap this thing up right now like a taquito by sharing with you. Those are delicious little treats. Have you ever had a taquito dipped in guacamole? Game changer. Game changer. So here it is, you guys. How you can how you can take advantage, guess what? How you can take advantage, how you can take full advantage of the national. Here's the key, is having the awareness of how to take advantage of the national. You break this thing into 3 categories. Preparation on the front end, okay? Then during the event is what you need is awareness. So before the event, preparation. It's right now. Awareness during the event, and then at the end, discipline, okay? Discipline at the end, okay? So how do you take advantage of it? Let's break this thing down. Here's what I want to share with you right now. This is a preparation mindset, okay? You got to be asking yourself this, right? What do I want this national event to do for me? Okay, here it is. What do I want this national event, guess what, to do for me? Number 1 is you want to make sure that here's where you make sure that my team and I feel the heartbeat of this company. See, when you go to the national events, you're going to feel the heartbeat of this company. You're going to feel the passion. You're going to feel the excitement, the energy. You're going to feel the heartbeat of what's going on, the heartbeat of this community, okay? Number 2 is sharpen my skills. Here's what I'll share with you is this. Skills makes labor, guess what? More valuable. Skills makes labor, guess what? More valuable. Meaning what? Meaning that you can chop a tree down, right, with a spoon. You know what I mean? But it's going to take you a long time. Or you could trade the spoon in for an axe. What's going to be better? Axe, that's your skill. But here's the deal. If you have a dull axe or a sharp axe, what's going to be more effective? Sharp axe. But let me ask you this question. Somebody else, okay, Tim, I understand. I got to get skills. What would happen if you had skills? Meaning that you knew exactly how to do this business, and you had the sharp axe, but you kept it in a woodshed. See, if you want to become a successful lumberjack, which I know that's not maybe on the top of everyone's list, but if you did want to become a lumberjack, would it be a good idea to have a sharp axe or a dull axe? Sharp. Would it be a good idea to take that sharp axe, swing it at trees, or keep the thing hidden in a woodshed? Swing it. So guess what we got to do? Sharpen our skills. Skills makes labor more valuable. If you go out there and let's say you did 60 exposures, right? I'm going to do 60 exposures the next 60 days, right? Or 90 exposures next 90 days, okay? Whatever it might be. If I go out there and I do that, am I going to be better off than if I don't do that? Yes. Now, if I go out there and if I do 60 or 90 and I get, guess what? 10% of the people join, that's a number. Or if I get 100% of the people to join, that's a number too. What's the difference between getting 100% and guess what? Getting 10%. Skills. Skills. Skills makes labor more valuable. We got to work on our skill set. Number 3, for your notes, book appointments so the event and the excitement continues. See, what's going to happen is, guess what? At the event, your team's going to be at a 20, right? On a scale of 1 to 10, they're going to be at a 20. They're going to be jacked sideways. Now, here's the deal. When they come back to the event, if they don't have a lot of prospects to talk to, they're going to fall back into, guess what? What we call the law of diminishing intent. The law of diminishing intent says what? Right? We intend to when the emotion is hot. We intend to when the idea strikes us. We intend to, right, to make that commitment. But if we don't take action, guess what? That emotion is going to be lost. So we have to do what? Understand that at that event, let's say that you got 3 or 4 people at the event. Tyler remembers back in the days, right? Tyler can tell you, we used to sit there, and guess what we would do? Make sure that no one, because we'd be on Hawaii time on the East Coast. Right? So you're on the East Coast, you're on Hawaii time. Boom. Event gets over, guess what? No-brainer. Tyler can tell you, man, people won't even leave without getting 100 appointments set. So imagine if you brought a team of 5 people that all had 100 appointments set whenever they come back. Game changer. Right? But instead, what if we go there and go, oh, we'll do it later. Later, that's the language of the poor. Do you guys see that? That's the language of the poor. That's what poor people say. Wealthy people say right now. Why? Because they have the awareness to recognize that urgency is how you change your life, okay? Here it is. Take advantage of the special products, promotions. If there's a promotion, you take advantage of it. Right? Here's the deal. That's a no-brainer. Make a true decision. Here it is. I talked about it earlier. In the moment of decision, that's what my destiny is shaped. So you have to make that clear decision. That's what these events do. Events motivate the process, okay? Here it is. Raise my belief system. Raise my belief to a point that no matter what, okay, when people see me, they're going to be afraid not to get started because they know that I know where I'm going. See, when you raise your belief system to a certain point, when people come in contact with you, they're actually afraid not to get involved in your business. Because your belief system is so high, they're afraid not to join you because they can tell, they can see that you know where you're going. So you got to raise that belief system to that point where people know, man, this person's going to go to the top. With or without me, I got to get involved, okay? No brainer. Here it is. This is actually the preparation checklist. This is how I operate, okay? Any of you guys, once you start to get to know me a little bit better, you'll find out that I, guess what, right? Deadlines motivate me. You guys see that? So I put together things like this so no matter what, I still win. It's called a checklist. Do you guys get that? So guess what'll happen, right? I'm making it happen, right? I'm first minute type person, I'm last minute type person, but I'm doing something else before I get ready for the event. So I have to have a checklist ready so I can just pop, 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 right there like that. So I can get ready in a 10-minute time frame, okay? So here's how it works, all right? I got to make sure that that's how I operate. I dry clean my slacks, my shirt, and my necktie, right? If you're going, you know what I'm saying? We're from Hawaii, we don't have to do that. You guys with me on that? Right, yeah, aloha, I just look good. You know what I'm saying? You guys already do look good, so lock in that beauty. Right? Get a brand new journal. Obviously, you want to acquire the founders and ring owners autographs, okay? 5 to 10 writing pins, that's a no-brainer. You don't want to run out of ink. The last thing you want to do is be like, you failed me, pen. You know what I'm saying? And then you start beating up your pen, and people are like calling security on you because you're having a, you know what I'm saying? Like an abusive situation with a pen. Doesn't even look right. So make sure you have 5 or 10, you have a backup situation in case one of the little pins decide to let you down, that you're like, look, you know what, go ahead and let me down, doesn't make a difference, because guess what? I've got another individual right here called Mr. Bick who's ready to step up to the plate and become a true champion. You got to create that urgency for the pins to step up, because if not, they'll let you down, right? But they got to always know, oh my God, this guy's got 5 or 6 other pins waiting for him. I'm going to step up right now, boom, ball in alignment. Kit cameras. You want to document the experience, okay? Document the experience, right? Obviously, rock star. If you're, you know, some people drink coffee, whatever, rock stars, coffee, whatever. You want to make sure that you're fired up like never before, but that's going to happen no matter what. So you don't even need that. Actually, you probably need some like Tylenol PM or something, because you're going to be so jacked up just to calm you down. Water, 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 and more water. You want to make sure that, guess what? You're hydrated, okay? Throat lozenges, okay? You're going to obviously be screaming. Hotel confirmation. Order a tent or a sleeping bag if you're camping out, okay? We don't really do this too much anymore. Back in the days, we used to camp out before the events. You guys ever seen those people like they go to Best Buy like 3 days before Black Friday and they're all waiting out like total lurkers, or like Return of the Jedi Part 7's coming out. They're like totally like dorked out, like, you know what I'm saying? They're all dressed up as like a stormtrooper sleeping in a sleeping bag out front of the movie theater. Okay, no one knows what I'm talking about. Anyways, we used to do that back in the days, right? We discovered the fact that you don't have to camp out to become wealthy, so we don't do that too much anymore. So just get a hotel confirmation. Black shoes, black socks, and black belt. Because me, I'm the type of person, I'll show up with a brown belt and some black shoes and be like, damn, it didn't match. You know what I'm saying? So I have to make sure I'm on track. Food for money, right? Or guess what? Money, wait a second. Food for money, no. Money for food. You guys see how smart that, right? Or a sign that says we'll work for food, right? No, you stupid. No, I'm just kidding. Bring some money for food, obviously. Right, black shoe polish. Obviously, sleepwear, okay? Razor and aftershave and shaving cream, okay? I prefer the Secret aftershave, just so you know. Right, hair products and our makeup. Right, I don't know how you operate. Sometimes I just get inspired, want to put a little bit of makeup on. Just kidding. No, that's obviously for the ladies here. Fresh haircut, right? Boom, you guys obviously get that. Large bottle of Act Right. Here's the key. Get a big bottle of Act Right. Don't be like going to 7-Eleven and be like, oh, I'm going to get a little small bottle of Act Right. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to show it. I go to Costco, Sam's Club, Walmart, wherever, and get a big, hefty bottle. I think they even have them at Walmart. Get a big bottle of Act Right, because you don't want to show up at a little bitty bottle of Act Right, and people are like, damn, how come you got that little bottle? You know what I mean? And you'll be embarrassed. I was kidding. Act right, basically. All I'm saying is you want to act right, okay? You guys are out here in Hawaii. You guys are making it happen. Everybody's going to be jealous of you guys. And here's the deal. People are going to ask you, what's your secret? Why are you guys doing so well? Right? You don't want to be like, well, let me explain to you, okay? And you start being all weird. Don't be training people at the event. You know what I'm saying? Don't be training them. Just say, oh, we just follow the system, you know, expose business to people. All right? Don't be training people and create doubt, you know? You'll see people like, and I love to watch it, and I'm gonna record it sometime. Like, you'll see people trying to train other people, right? And it's crazy. Even if someone comes up to me, I'm just gonna say, look, you know how to do it. You can make it happen. Just go out there and expose business people. It's easy. You're trying to empower people. Do you guys get that? And I'm like, well, let me explain to you something called voice inflection. And you know what I mean? Like, dude, you're weird, right? Picture ID, obviously deodorant. I recommend that, definitely. Clean undergarments. Optional. I mean, let's just face it. You might have some stanky draws. It's all good. No, get some clean undergarments, right? Lotion or body butter. I like to do both. Just sometimes I'm just like, boom, I'm going to go ocean mist on you, then go pomegranate, keep you guessing. Right? Take it to the convention. Mouthwash, very good idea. Breath mints or gum, once again in alignment with the mouthwash. Cologne, perfume, toothbrush, toothpaste, iPod with personal development. Obviously, common sense and respect, and a list. This is the most important one. Why? Because during breaks and after the event, you want to be setting appointments like never before. I mean, you want to be setting up appointments right now like never before, okay? You're going to be on, you want to make sure that whenever you come back, not just your team, but you as well, you've got, what would happen if you had 50 appointments set up? The best people, I'm telling you right now, the best people that are going to get started are the people that get started, guess what? Between now and the event. Because if you get a brand new person that just got in, that's got a fresh list, what? And they're at the event, and they're like blown away. You know, just completely like, whoa, right? Their heads about the bob. I mean, they're out of control, jacked up. And guess what? You set up 100 appointments for them, they're going to come back and take over the planet. That's your silver in 30 days. That's your silver in 90 days. That's your platinum in 3 months, in 6 months. I mean, that's your success story right there, is that brand new person. So it's all about getting brand new agents in right now. So some people, what they do is they use the event to recruit, right? No. What you want to do is recruit to promote. Don't promote to recruit. Do you guys get that? I recruit to promote. I don't promote to recruit. See, I'm a beast promoter. Okay, I'm just going to let you know that's a skill set that I've got. Okay, I didn't learn that at Boomers. Okay, I actually acquired that by hanging around people that were really good, and I replicated, duplicated what they did. But here's the deal. I don't promote to recruit. I recruit to promote. Meaning what? I recruit people right now so we can promote for the event, not promote for the event so we can recruit some people. Do you guys see the difference? Make sure you recruit, obviously, to promote so we can become successful. All right, we're going to wrap this thing up here like a Christmas present right now. Raise my awareness. This is during the event. Get ready for this. You're going to love this. Raise my awareness. Okay, let's do it. What can I do during the event that will give me the competitive advantage? Good question. Here's what it looks like. Take pictures and document the event through your eyes. Okay? Why do I do this? Okay? I just challenge you. Try to take more pictures of me. That's it. You know what I mean? What's up? Because you already know I'm going to take 3,000 pictures. Just to let you know that I don't play. I don't play games. I don't play. In kindergarten, I got kicked out of recess because I didn't play. I don't play. Stupid. So anyways, why? Because you want to look, bottom line is this, right? You're going to become wealthy beyond imagination. There's going to be a giant museum made of you, obviously, because of your accomplishments. And in that museum, right, you want to have like 3 pictures that you took from your dirty ass phone. You know what I'm saying? Clean the screen if you're going to take it from the phone at least. You know what I'm saying? Every day my goal is to take at least 100 pictures. How do you take 100 pictures a day no matter what? Do something that's worth recording. Do you guys get that? Do something with your life that's worth taking a picture of. Do you guys see it? Got to do it, okay? And how do we do that? We start with the event. Pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop. Taking pictures of everything, man. Promote. Because now you can tell people the stories. Do you guys see the difference? Because you're going to promote the next event. Best way to do this, by what? Pictures. Right? Pictures, okay? This is going to help you promote the next event, okay? Number 2 is arrive early. This will help you feel a part of the event and take ownership in the event. So you want to, guess what? Arrive early. This is how I live my life, by the way. This isn't just some information I'm sharing with you that may or may not work. That's all I do. People just say, Tim, what should I do? Teach me about promoting events. Well, I'm just going to tell you what I do. And if you replicate that, and even if you dumb me down by 10%, you're still going to become wealthy. Here it is. Why? Because you're going to take ownership of the event. Right? If registration is at 8 a.m. and you show up at 7 o'clock and you're the first one there, you feel like a champ because you're seeing everybody kind of slowly show up. But if the event's going on and you're late, you're running in there like a wild tornado, and there's already 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000 people in the event, you walk in there, whoa, where'd all these people come from? But if you're the first one there, guess what happens? You feel ownership, okay? Very easy to understand. Okay, compete with my team to take the most notes. Obvious, okay? Compete with my team to take the most. This will help me absorb the experience, okay? Take notes on everything the speaker says. I'll get fired up and I'll take notes on what the speaker says, but I'll also take notes on what the speaker didn't say that they were thinking. Because I'd be like, look, this is what you were thinking out that you didn't say. You left that one out. I know what you were doing. You didn't think we were ready, but I knew what you were thinking. If you're committed, you're going to take notes on what the speaker's thinking, okay? Get great seats and stay in the event, okay? I want to avoid conversations with people that lurk outside the event. You're going to have 20 people that lurk outside the event. They're just lurking. Don't talk to the outside lurkers. Do you guys know what the lurkers are doing? They're outside lurking. They're complaining. They're being stupid. But what happens is those lurkers that are outside, they're going to get abducted by aliens. Because you're not going to be able to find the next event. You're like, where did under that one lurker? Remember that one guy that was lurking around? Where'd he go? I don't know. He's not this event. I don't know what happened to that guy, dude. Right? The aliens got him. I don't know what happened. I just know that he's not here, you know? Extraterrestrials, I don't know. Maybe a negative friend. I don't know. Something knocked him out of the box. Oh, my God. That's a good one. E.T.? I don't know. He did phone home. I don't know what happened, all right? Get great seats and stay in the event. Obviously, we already talked about that. Number 5, during every break, attack. I like that word attack because that's not like play around. That's like, damn, that's serious. During every break, attack. Ooh, attack. What? Attack. Say it again. Attack the phones. Attack the phones. You want to have cauliflower ear from being up the phone so bad. Do you guys get that? You guys know wrestlers? None of you guys wrestle out here? Only WWF. Give them a smackdown. No. Wrestlers, they get this cauliflower because they spin around on the mats. If you're beating up the phones hard enough, your ear's going to kind of like, boom. You have to go get it punctured, get rid of that fluid because you got too aggressive. Here's why. This will make sure that I I maximize the results and ensure that I don't fall prey to the law of diminishing intent. Because your team's going to be jacked up. They will be inspired. Trust me. They will be on fire at the event. The one thing that we know how to do is light people on fire, okay? And it's contagious, and they're going to be like lit. If you get someone jacked out of their mind, and if they don't follow that up with all-out massive action, they're not just going to fall back to where they were, they're going to fall even lower. Do you guys get that? So the peak is really high. Guess what happens after the biggest peaks? Come the lowest valleys. So how do you avoid those low valleys? Don't let that ever come down from that peak. This is something that we mastered. This is how we've built events, you guys, to 17, 20,000 people, okay? How do we do that? By this right here, teaching everybody, man. During the events, during the breaks, during those whenever you have a window of opportunity, make sure you're making phone calls. Grab your brand new people. Grab your people that are there and be like, here, let's make some phone calls. Let's do it. And what happens is, guess what? When you're fired up and you're in that peak state, and it's the perfect place too. Face it, right? You're from Hawaii, right? Or from Canada. I know we got somebody here from Canada. So she's on vacation and found out we're doing an event. Here's the deal. You're from another outside market, okay? And imagine this. Hey, I'm in Utah right now. I'm looking at something, and if this thing's as big as I think, we can make a fortune together. But I'm going to find out more information about it, and if this thing's big, I'm going to call you back. Boom. Like, I don't know anything about baseball, okay? Like, even though I coach a baseball team, I don't know anything about baseball, okay? My son can hit baseballs all day long. I can't hit a baseball to save my life, okay? But I'm going to tell you right now. Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now. You put a baseball on a tee, I'll smash it. You guys get that? You think I buried bonds, dude. I'm like, they're like, dude, are you on Balco? Like, what is up with that, you know? You're hitting that ball, like, out of the park. T-ball, I'm a beast at T-ball. I'm a beast. I'm a T-ball beast. You guys see that? I'm a beast at T-ball. Like, don't even get me on a T-ball field because I will smash it. I will break a window of the neighbor's house, no problem. That's this business, guys. You don't have to be that good of a recruiter if, guess what, you know how to tee people up. Tee everybody up, man. You make a list of 100 people and tee everybody up. Hey, I'm looking at something right now. If this thing's as big as I think it is, we can make some serious money together. I'll call you back if this thing's worth even talking more about. Then I'm going to call you back again. I'm going to take that list of 100, call you back again and say, look, this thing's, I think it might even be bigger than I thought. I'm going to go find out some more information, but if this thing's as big as I think it is, get ready for something great. And then, boom, you've got them teed up, and then you just call them up and be like, look, I got confirmation. This thing's 10 times bigger than I thought it was going to be. I'm landing on Sunday at 4 p.m., or I'm landing Monday at 4 p.m. As soon as I touch down, you need to meet me at the airport. And you get a free ride. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. You guys see how easy it is? It's too easy, man, if you do it right, okay? Too easy. It really is. And then after the event, obviously, discipline, all-out, massive action. Everyone's jacked out of their mind. You get 20, 30, 40, 50 appointments set while you're there. Game over. I mean, game over from everybody on your team. Imagine if you have 10 people there and everybody's got, what they all have, let's say that since you guys have a high level awareness, say we get them all 50 appointments. Say you have 10 people there with 50 appointments. Now guess what? Now you have, what is that? 10 plus 5? No, 50. Is that 50? That's 500. That's 500 appointments? What? 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 500 appointments? Oh my, you guys know how I feel about that? This is how I feel about that? You guys don't even know how I feel. You guys are getting ready for it. You guys are getting ready for it. This is it right here. You guys are ready for it. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. I had to give you a toe touch. Because if you're not doing, and I was scared I was going to rip these bad boys too. Because someone lost some weight, and it wasn't me, because I found some. Oh, is it okay if we have fun? Because we're like 3X's past fun at ridiculous. Here it is, you guys. Register now for the national event. Obviously, get this. We're going to pass these out in a minute. Fill that out. Here's what you want to do right now. Number 1, register for the national event. Register for the national event right when? Now. Okay, make a declaration, all right? Number 2 is this, rank advance to superstar before pay period deadline 11:59. And number 3, qualify for Royale. This right here is the formula and a recipe for massive success. How many of you seriously have a better idea and understanding and appreciation of promoting events? If you do, by now, have a better appreciation and understanding. Help me out and say, I do. All right, you guys got it, man. Give yourselves a round of applause for being champions.